everybody. This is Arthur Aday with Bev Wilson from the Crystal Room in Mount Shasta. And she's here today to enlighten us. Enlighten us? Enlighten us? What are you here for?
Lightning.
Yeah, lightning. Anyway, Bev, thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure.
This is gorgeous. I mean, I am in awe with what is happening here. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Show us your magic.
Okay, so these are crystal tones, crystal singing bowls, and each one is a living consciousness. That's actually physics. That's not woo woo woo. Mm-hmm. So basically, we're going to tell a story, a bowl story. It has words that go with it, and the bowls are going to, because we're water, we're molecular consciousness, we're a perfect receptor for the bowls. Quartz, these are all 100% quartz.
Quartz, yes.
Quartz is a transmitter.
It is, yeah.
The vibration of the metal or mineral is carried into our cellular knowing. Our body gets it and it teaches our mind.
Wow.
So in this particular case, the bowls wanted to have the words at the same time as the experience.
Okay.
Because this is your now.
Now.
And it came about as a kind of a result of the question, there has to be something better than New Year's resolutions.
And what is that?
Well, it's the now.
It's the now.
It's living the now in each moment. There is nothing better.
There is nothing better but being in the now.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to just do this little story, and then we can talk a little bit more about it.
Okay.
Okay. So, as I said, this is based on the reality that we're used to thinking of our body as something we have to keep healthy, and it carries our head. And our head tells our body what to do, and our body dutifully goes around doing what our head tells it to do, and the head is sure it's top dog. And that's doing. That's 10% of our brain. And because we find ourselves doing a lot, thoughts like, how can I bring more meaning into my life crop up. We know we're really in the soup of it when we come up with, when am I going to figure out why I'm really here? There's basically a longing. So these bowls represent our relationship with ourselves. And these are interpersonal relationships. Our relationships with each other. Which always brings us back to our relationship with ourselves. It's full, it's rich, and yet we have those longings. There are those absolutely magic moments when we get to experience our expanded consciousness. Our God consciousness, our cosmic consciousness, whatever we want to call it. And we go, yes, that's me, that's who I am. That's what I want to experience all the time. And we soak it up. And then we get pulled back into doing because there's so much to do. And we wait in longing till the next time that we get to experience the consciousness that we know we are in our expandedness. The really wonderful thing is the only difference between doing and being, the only difference, it's the exact same actions with the exact same people, only we bring ourselves fully present the best we can be in the moment we're in, and look what happens. It's joyous. There's no longing. We're getting everything we need to get done with the exact people we're supposed to do it with. Only we're fully present the best we can be in the moment we're in, aligned with our individual aspect of Source, and it's a celebration. We haven't changed anything except for our intention and our attention of being fully present the best we can be in the moment we're in. And everything's changed. The other way.
Yes.
We make time to meditate. We make time to go out into nature to experience ourselves. We even go on retreat to connect with ourselves. We use those words. And because we're not fully present, we struggle with the thoughts while we're trying to meditate. We pull ourselves out of the future or the past while we're out in nature. We even have to remind ourselves it's not where we're walking to, it's not the destination, but actually experiencing what's around us is why we're there.
That's it.
And because we're not fully present, we feel it, but it's more outside of ourselves than inside of ourselves. When we bring ourselves fully present in the moment we're in, the physical expands. And we don't have to try to connect with our higher consciousness. We have access to our entire field. There's no place where the physical ends and the spiritual begins, or the spiritual ends and the physical begins. We are it. We know it, we feel it, we live it when we're fully present the best we are in the moment we're in. And we get pulled back into doing because it's impossible not to, but we know what that feels like, and we can use it as our ally, as our friend. When we feel it, we say, thank you very much. You're reminding me I'm choosing to be fully present in this moment. And we do it over and over and over again. And as we're doing that, we're creating this resonance within ourselves. Fully present in our heart's knowing, the mind relaxes. It's not hard to figure out what to do in the moment we're in. We respond. And the mind gets to co-create with the heart knowing the best response. And fully present in our hearts knowing, we have access to everything we are. Our inner child, our cosmic consciousnesses, our angelic presence are all fully accessible because we're fully accessible.
Yes.
And as we choose to be fully present, the best we can be, aligned with our individual aspect of Source, in this now, we are that celebration for ourselves, our relationships, the earth, this time, all that is.
It is all. It's beautiful.
And it becomes easier and easier to say, I'm not going to just do this moment.
Yes.
I'm choosing to be fully present, the best I can be, aligned with my individual aspect of Source, bringing all that I am to this now as my full yes to being me.
Resonant in there in my head is so beautiful. The body, I can feel that
It's
water.
you experiencing you.
Yes.
Delicious, huh?
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Now, are each tones? Is that what we do here?
What happens is the bowls are fired at 4,800 degrees. They become magma. The metals or minerals are added to the quartz. It recrystallizes its crystalline structure in that magma as it to accommodate the new molecular composition. When it comes down, it has its shape, and whatever the tone it's closest to is the tone it becomes.
Okay.
The bowls are not made to be these tones. They are these tones.
They are.
They play differently depending on the intention that we bring to them.
Okay.
They were longing and then they were joyous. And it comes with a rock lesson, okay?
All right.
So this is our rock. This is physics.
Okay.
Physics is, resonance in physics is exact frequency match. When something's in its resonance, nothing's interfering with the sine wave, so every time it goes around, it builds on itself and it gets bigger and bigger. So watch this.
Okay.
So when a crystal is facing in its direction of empowerment, it's over here, it demonstrates resonance. Okay, so watch this. This is it building on itself, okay? If it's kind of going in the direction it's supposed to, but not exactly, it'll be elliptical and it doesn't grow. And if it's going opposite the direction of its empowerment, it actually cancels out its energy field. Part of it's trying to go one way, part of it's trying to go the other. We've all had those days we could barely get out of bed because we knew we weren't going in the right direction.
We weren't going to go anywhere.
Exactly. As it starts going back in the direction of its empowerment, it starts having resonance again, or not resonance, it starts just having movement. It's like skating along until it gets back into the direction of its empowerment and it moves into its resonance. Okay? Now in physics, there's 4 ways of being out of resonance. Okay? You have the exact same sine wave.
Okay.
It can be above it or below it, in front of it or behind it, too big or too little, too fast or too slow.
Okay.
For us,
Right.
not grounded enough, too grounded.
Okay.
In the future, in the past, trying to be more than we are or less than we are, pushing ourselves too fast or not fast enough.
Okay.
That's how we get out of resonance.
That's it, yeah.
The only way we can be in resonance is in the moment we're in, because by definition, if we're in the future or the past, we're out of resonance.
Yeah.
And I don't care whether we're masculine or feminine, we've forgotten how to move from our heart knowing. The mind really is in charge most of the time. Okay, so this is platinum on quartz, clear and frosted. Platinum is feminine, heart knowing, yin. Gold, masculine, mind, yang.
Okay.
When the heart knowing and the mind are co-creating together as equals, there's this incredible wholeness and fullness and completeness, because we're both masculine and feminine, heart knowing and mind. If you think of yin as a totally darkened room, and you submerge yourself in that darkness, and then you light a candle, and the candlelight fills the room, the candle is yang. It's the mind.
Yes.
It doesn't take a lot of yang to fill yin.
Okay.
That's why it's so easy for the mind to override the heart knowing,
Ah.
even when the heart knowing thinks it's doing pretty good. And it doesn't even feel that good, because the mind knows it can't do it. That's why we drowned in what ifs and if onlys.
If only. Oh.
And why we create all those scenarios that never happen, because it's the future.
It's the future, yeah.
Right.
We want the present, though.
Right. When we bring ourselves into the now and the mind and the heart co-create together, we can tweak it a little too spacey, a little too analytical, bring it into a balance where they're co-creating together. Now, granted, the mind doesn't have a lot of experience in listening to the heart knowing. Okay, so we have to help it when it starts taking over, because that's really what it thinks it's supposed to do. We say, thank you very much. I appreciate everything you do for me, but I'm trying to listen to this part of me. Won't you join me and we'll all do it together?
That's it.
And they play together. The mind loves it because the now is the only place it can be truly creative and truly productive. It feels good. The mind goes, I kind of like it. And that's how it all begins. This is your body teaching your mind.
Yes.
And as the mind experiences it, it has a whole knowing, and it's easier to respond.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
And that's what these bowls are all about.
Now these have different names on them. This is a G.
Right. So that's identifying the tone.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, because the bowl chooses its voice, they're hardly ever zeros. They're hardly ever like a musical instrument.
Right.
But that's okay, because most of the time we're not working with just one chakra. We're working with multiple chakras. Okay? So let me just, the smaller bowls are the chakras above your head.
Oh, okay.
These were in your body.
It feels like it's in the body too.
And then it goes above it.
To what?
It goes up here.
Okay.
With that one. And then the low bowls ground us into the earth.
Now, how did you learn how to do all this? This is a kind of a natural thing for you?
I had a lot of back roads.
Yeah, there you go.
And I've had a lot of, in 74, I was working with the WellCare side of medicine when it didn't exist.
Wow.
Saying my master's thesis was on the fact that we had a good sick care system, but we needed to develop learn what from other cultures. to develop it. So these are the bowls. This is you experiencing you. And as our body gets it, our mind understands it. One of the things I love is you lose the definition of your skin. Feel it. It doesn't feel the same as it did when you started.
It doesn't. There's a difference. I can feel it just when I do this. I can feel different when I do this.
And
you get your head in there.
we even have, we have lots of people that come that don't hear at all.
But they can feel.
But they get the vibration and the location from the vibration itself.
Incredible. So incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome. For being here and bringing such beauty to the whole world. Well, this is your now.
Yes, it is mine now, and it's there now.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Many blessings.
Yes, many great blessings.
Yes. And thank you for the service that you do.
Yes, it is a service. Thank you very much. This is Aday in Telos. This is Arthur, and this is Bev. And you can find her at the Crystal Room in Mount Shasta.
Crystal Tones at Mount Shasta.
Crystal Tones of Mount Shasta. You're that gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you for being there.
It was a pleasure.
There's a lot of people that are going to call on you now and want to hear just this.
Well, we're doing our best. I think it's on YouTube so that people can get it. And we're trying to get it out further.
All right. Play some more for us and we'll say goodbye. See y'all later in the wild world web.